The underlying philosophy of creative economy advocates is that museums are businesses, theaters are businesses, potters are businesses, designers and printers are businesses, and these businesses attract customers, donors, patrons, and visitors who spend money, who in turn, those organizations also spend money locally.
Julia Dixon introduced herself to an audience of business people who work in the arts sector of the Bennington County economy at an event at the Mount Anthony Country Club in Bennington on April 25th. She is a North Adams, Massachusetts-based creative economy consultant who will spearhead the development of a cultural plan for Bennington County. The evening before, she also introduced herself to the Manchester Select Board and told them about what some of the work of developing a countywide cultural plan involved.
A cultural plan is an important step for any community's creative sector, and if implemented, it can do some, if not all, of the following: unify a diverse community through shared activities and interests, align priorities and objectives of multiple cultural institutions, support the needs of growing subsectors, such as freelancers, independent artists, and creative manufacturers, mediate community challenges such as population loss, affordable housing, and divisions in identity, ensure broader and/or aligned arts access and arts education, identify or call for funding for programs and services, establish public policies that support the creative sector, and/or stimulate economic and community development. All of these things can happen through a cultural plan.
Funding grants totaling $45,000 from the Vermont Department of Housing and Community Development and the Bennington County Regional Commission will support the development of the plan, designed to create a collaborative, countywide strategy for arts and cultural organizations, municipalities, and other partners to boost the creative economy's role in the broader overall economy of the region. Dixon was elected for the post of heading up the initiative by a selection committee that included Pauline Moore, the Economic Development Officer of Manchester, and Dina Janis, the Artistic Director of the Dorset Theatre Festival. According to the project description developed by the selection committee, the cultural plan Dixon is charged with developing and helping draft takes place in concert with the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy, or CEDS. The economic strategy is a collaboration between the Bennington County Regional Commission and the Brattleboro Development Credit Corporation, and designed to foster greater cooperation between the private and public sectors across the southern two-county area. This project has received funding support from the federal U.S. Department of Commerce. Greg Van Houten, a member of the Bennington County Council for the Arts, talked about why a cultural plan was needed.
A cultural plan, a strategic plan that's on paper, that has the details and the assets listed, is a resource that the municipalities can use going forward, whether the Arts Council continues or not, or goes in a different direction. This is something that the towns can buy into and refer to the way they would with any other economic sector. If a manufacturer came to town or a retail outlet came to town, there's data at the municipal levels that can tell them about markets and potentials and where to go. We don't have that in the cultural sector. I point to Southern Vermont College accepting the gift of the Bennington Center for the Arts, and had they had a strategic plan with all of that laid out, what a great asset that had been to them in going forward and planning this. So a strategic plan, in this case it's a regional plan, it'll encompass the county. It gives the towns an opportunity to buy into that and adopt that as part of their municipal plan. So that going forward, this portion of our heritage and our culture and our economic well-being can be adopted and move forward the way the other economic sectors do.
While Bennington County is home to some top-tier arts organizations such as the Bennington Museum, the Southern Vermont Arts Center, the Manchester Music Festival, Old Castle Theatre, and the Dorset Theatre Festival, an inability to achieve broader collaboration and scale has prevented the arts from becoming a fuller force that could impact the overall economy, the project description stated. Dixon sees the development of the cultural plan, or roadmap, of how to move in that direction as unfolding over 5 phases over the coming 12 months. The project will involve an emphasis on data collection, research, and discussions with community members, After her talk at the Mount Anthony Country Club, Dixon spoke about what she saw as the challenges and opportunities the cultural plan presented.
So my job is to create a county-wide cultural plan, not a plan for Manchester, not a plan for Bennington, or just both. So I'm really looking at Reedsboro and Pownell and Arlington and Dorset, all of the 17 towns in this community, to see how we can come together, how we can build a cultural sector together. So because of that, there are some issues or some differences in identity and perception from town to town that have come up that the cultural plan will tackle.
The first step will be to assemble a steering committee to guide the work of the cultural plan. The final report will be due in May 2019. For the GNET TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.